welcome back to another video. Today I'm in my local woods and it is absolutely freezing. I think it's about -3 at the minute. We've had a lot of snow this week, so I thought there's no better time to come and try out my new Bushbox wood stove. And this is what it looks like all packed away, and it fits just nicely in my jumper pocket. And I'm just going to try and find a spot now that's a bit off the path, and we'll test it out, so I'll see you there. So, I found a nice little spot in the woods, and let's have a little chat about this. So, this is the Bushbox LF stove by a company called Bushcraft Essentials, and you can get this in 3 different sizes, and I've gone for the medium size, but you can get an extra large size and a really small size, which is a proper pocket size wood stove. And it's a stainless steel foldable stove, and it has a multi-fuel capability, so you can burn wood in it, spirit burners, fuel tablets, and kind of any organic material. So I paid a little bit extra to get the case, just because I thought it'd be nice to have a case to keep it in, and it's a nice little Velcro case with the logo on, as you can see. So let's take it out of its pouch and take a look at it. So this is what the stove looks like once it's out of its pouch. As you can see, it packs together really nice and thin, takes up no room. So you simply unfold it, and then it's got 2 layers in the middle. It's got an ash collector and another layer which you put your wood on. So you drop down the little ash collector first, which is really easy to do, and then you drop down the wood collector, and then you've got your stove and it's ready to go. So that's one really big bonus of it, is how quick it is to actually set it up, which is nice, especially on a day like today when my hands are slowly starting to freeze. And the stove weighs just 470 grams, so considering it's a wood stove and how small it packs away, it's not a bad weight really. It doesn't weigh you down too much. And like I said, it seems to be really well made. It seems really solid once it's up, and it's made in Germany, so that kind of makes sense as to why it's been built so well. So like I said earlier, I've gone for the medium-sized stove, and the stove is 14 centimeters tall by 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters. And the last thing I'll say on the kind of build of it is this hole at the front is where you feed the fire, it's where you put your twigs in once it's got to go in, which seems to be a really nice feature. So I'm quickly just going to walk around and try and find some dry wood to burn on the stove, and that's another positive of the stove. Your fuel's free, you just find it on the woodland floor, which is also reducing your carbon footprint, because if you're to buy the wood from a shop or something, or a gas bottle, that's travelled lots of miles, you don't know if it's been sustainably sourced, etc. So even if you're just having a fire in general, you should always try and get your wood or your fuel from the forest floor or the woodland floor if you can. So I'll quickly just collect some wood, and then I'll get the fire started. Look at this stuff. Found an old rotten silver birch tree on the floor, and it's got some lovely bark on it, which is nice and dry. Perfect for starting a fire on a day like today. So we've got the fire going quite nicely now, after about half an hour. Let's just say every single piece of wood is wet in this woodland at the moment. Bit of a rookie error for me. I should have collected some yesterday and dried it at home, but oh well, we've got it going finally. So I started by putting in that silver birch that I found, and I just put some smaller twigs in, anything that was slightly dry that I could find. Yeah, and then we got it going. I've just put some kind of medium-sized kind of twigs now, and that's what I'm kind of fueling it with at the moment. I did try putting some bigger stuff in, but I think everything's just so wet that the bigger stuff just isn't happening today. So I think that's something I'll try next time. I'll dry some wood off beforehand. So this is the grill that I paid a little bit extra for. I just thought I'd get it just because it fits, it's made to fit perfectly. So I've got some sausages. They are vegetarian, if you're thinking they look a bit weird. And after I've cooked them, I've got some beans to cook. And I've got these 2 little things which actually slip onto the top of the stove and you can rest your pot on, and I'll show that in a bit when I start cooking the beans. So as you might be able to see, it's got these little notches cut out in the steel, and that's where the grill fits on, like so. So that's the grill, so it fits on nice and snug. And let's get some sausages on the go. So we've got the sausages on, and as you can see, they fit absolutely perfect on the grill. And what I really like is that I can still feed the fire through this little hole here, even when I'm cooking my food. So it's a really nice system. And the beauty of this stove is that with it being contained by the 4 walls, and obviously you've got this little hole here, but apart from that, all the heat is just going to go straight up through the middle to cook my sausages. So it's kind of like a bit of a chimney effect, so it's really efficient at cooking, and the sausages made a bit of a sizzle when I put them on the grill, so it must be hot enough to cook. So that's the sausages done. Let's take them off. Nearly dropped that. So you can see I've taken the grill off now, and I'm going to put these little trivets on so that I can put my beans on to cook. So they slot in like so. There's little notches in there which they slot into, and there's multiple notches, so you could have them narrower or wider, which is nice. And we've got the beans on to cook. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop the sausage up, put it in with the beans, and then we've got a bit of a beans and sausage casserole, if you want to call it that. So we're just waiting for that to heat up now. I think if I was to do it again, I'd definitely prepare a bit better and get some wood in the house the night before and dry it off. I can still get it from the local woodland though, because I think it would have worked quite a bit better if I had some bigger sized wood that would be a bit more of a slow burner, because I've had to keep on feeding it with small twigs, because that's the only thing that seems to be working today in it. I think it's just because of how wet the wood is, but it's giving off a really good heat. Those sausages cooked in, must have been about 2 minutes, so really good on the cooking front, and the beans are nearly ready now. And I know this is a bit different to my usual videos. Usually I'm either giving a gear review or walking in the Peak District or in my local area, but I wanted my channel to be based around the outdoors, and I want to have a really big kind of variance in videos, so there's something for everyone really, especially at the moment with it being locked down, and you know, I can't go into the Peak District as much as I'd want to. So I thought I'm going to use my local area and use it to my advantage. This local woodland, it's called the Birches. It's just near Ambergate, near next to Belper where I live, and if it wasn't for lockdown I would have never really come here, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's a really big woodland. There's walking routes all the way through it, so if you're in the area I really recommend to come and check it out. So my bean and sausage casserole is done, and I think it's fair to say that I've earned that, because it took a lot longer than I thought, and that's my fault completely. I should have definitely got some wood yesterday and dried it off at home, but you know, you learn from your mistakes. As far as the stove goes, I am very impressed, considering how small it is. I did have to keep on feeding it quite a lot, but that's my fault again, because I didn't have any larger stuff that was dried. Finished my meal. I'm going to let this burn down a bit, and then I'll show you how easy it is to just quickly pack it away and get on with your walk. So once you're done using your Bushbox, it's really simple to put away. It's just like when I unfolded it, you simply just fold it back up. So you lift up the plates which the wood sits on, lift up the ashtray, and then it just all falls back together like so. And that can slip in its pouch. And then the grill can just slip back in that front bit. So it's all packed away in the space of about 30 seconds, and it can just be slipped back into your bag. So there's your compact, pocket-sized wood stove. So I'm going to head back through the woodland now. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. It was something a bit different. It might turn out to not be amazing, because I didn't film as much as I probably should have done, because I was trying so desperately to get the fire going with the wet wood I had. But yeah, overall I'm super impressed with this. I'm super impressed with the size of it, the weight of it, and just the build of it is incredible. It's really solid and sturdy, and it's actually a very efficient stove, because you need barely any wood really to cook a whole meal. compared to, you know, a normal campfire that you'd cook on. You use a lot more wood, and the fuel for it is free. Just get it from your woodland floor, but make sure it's dry. And lastly, I was just really impressed with the actual chimney system and how all the heat goes straight onto your food. And I nearly burnt my sausages, it cut that quickly. So if you're enjoying my videos, feel free to subscribe, it'd really help me out. Thank you very much for all the support, I really appreciate it. All the comments I get, they're really lovely. So thanks for watching again, and I'll see you in the next one.